She's a journalist and host who I'm sure you've seen on Good Morning America 2020 and GMA3, and a New York Times bestselling author. And he's an actor turned entrepreneur and activist. Together, they are parents to 5 kids and now a children's book called Better Together. Husband and wife duo who fans affectionately refer to as hashtag couple goals. Amy Robach and Andrew Shue, welcome to the middle.
Oh, thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Of course. So Amy, I'll start with you first. Tell me a little bit about the book and why now was the right time to put it out there.
Well, we have been talking about this book really ever since our family blended 12 years ago now. So they were ages 3 to 13. And it's hard to explain to young kids, hey, meet your new brother, meet your new sister. Now get along and love each other. There's so much that's happening post-divorce and it's scary and overwhelming. And so we kind of came up with stories of animals in our backyard, the house we moved in together, to say, hey, they're all playing together. They became a family together. And we would just use literally the squirrels in our backyard, the mouse we found in our house, to talk about how you can make a family by living together and loving each other. And so that's where the story came from. And so we've been talking about it for a while, and finally we actually decided to do it.
Yeah, I think we were bored. No,
I think we had to make sure our family, it actually worked. We did joke saying, let's make sure we stay together before we actually write a book about better together.
Right.
we feel like we got to year 12 and thought, oh, it's stuck now.
Yeah. We got 2 of them in college, 2 more going to college. So I feel like we can say, I think we made it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, we had chickens. We had a whole. Actually, we had a lot of interesting stories as we were meeting, because I had a whole bunch of cats and snakes. So we had to kind of shed some of the animals before we moved in.
Now we have a dog.
Okay, just one dog.
Just one dog.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you for putting it out there, because I am someone, my stepdad became my real dad early in my life. My siblings are technically my half siblings, even though they're mine in the fullest way. And I remember being like 9 or 10 and feeling such anxiety around the fact that my last name was different from my entire family's. And what was everyone going to think about that? And I wish I had a book like this before I was old enough to feel those feelings. So yeah, I think this is great. And I'm just curious, what did all of your kids say when you said you were doing this?
They were excited about it. In fact, they try to pick which animal they think they are. Like, that's me. They're like, I'm Fern. I'm, it's pretty cute. I'm Peanut. So they're all kind of, picking which one they are. And I think they're excited about it too, because it's interesting you say that, we have 3 last names in our family.
Okay.
So, we go through the TSA or check everybody through security. It's always we used to feel like we had to explain because we had 3 last names, but so many people are in that same boat, and that doesn't define who you are as a family, your name, your blood, any of that. And I think it's an important lesson for us to learn, now from a family to family, but also from, state to state, country to country. We're all realizing we're all human beings. We're all in this together, and our job is to love each other. Bottom line, that's our job.
Absolutely. And it's another one of those things that, until you talk about it, until you start sharing it, then you start to realize you have all of these common grounds. So, and I think when kids are little, that is the time, like those are the formidable years. So, Amy, you wrote such an inspiring book back in 2017. How does it feel to look back on that period of your life when you wrote the book compared to now when you're putting such a different book into the world?
Yeah, no, I mean, and funny enough, my other book was called Better, and it's coincidental that the next book is Better Together. But my first book, Better, actually was named from a poem my daughter gave me. She was 10 years old at the time when I was going through chemo and really, really at a low point. And she wrote me a poem about how it has to get worse before it gets better. And trust me, it will get better. And so that poem is at the beginning of my book. And that's why I chose the title Better, because the truth is, going through something so difficult that lives with you for the rest of your life, that threat of recurrence, really feeling like you're vulnerable, recognizing that you're vulnerable, recognizing that tomorrow isn't guaranteed. That's a game changer in how you live every part of your life. And so it's absolutely created a completely different arc of my life than it would have been had I not gone through that. So it's amazing to be here. I guess, yeah, is it 5 years from, so it'll be put out maybe 6 years after I wrote the first book. But yeah, this was a much easier story to tell. It was it was a much more pleasurable experience, I think, to do it with Andrew too. Instead of talking about the toughest time in my life, we got to talk about the thing we're probably most proud of as humans.
Yeah, Amy likes to say that you have to have a
Down.
a breakdown before you have a breakthrough.
Yeah.
And I think that we all feel like we've had such growth through all the tough times that we've gone through, and the connections and the bonds are so much deeper. And you see, it was interesting, the little blurb that they put out about the book, talking about just kind of even nationally how the country is trying to find ways to come together and accept people. So the whole idea of acceptance is a big deal, I think, for all of us. And we're kind of in the middle of a breakdown, and we have to have a breakthrough. So we're excited about the general message.
Amen to that. Andrew, what was it like working together?
It was good. We actually, we never argued.
It's like the one thing we didn't argue about.
We collaborated well, and you know, I think the only little battle we had was that the girls didn't think that the squirrels were as cute as the chipmunks, so they wanted to be the chipmunks instead of the squirrels.
Yeah,
that was our only issue we had with the book.
Wait, and the names are so cute. What are the family names?
Oh, well, it's we actually did that off of what we call our family. We call ourselves the Shoebox, Robach and Shue. And we had the Squirrelies and the McMunks. So they became the McSquirrelies.
I love it.
And that's a nod to my daughter's last name, which has got a Mick in it. So that we kind of blended it all together that
Combined
way.
everything. So you, like I mentioned, you guys are such a stunning couple. What is the best piece of advice you have for maintaining a successful relationship and then a successful blended family?
So I think the thing that has gotten me into a much better place, just generally in life, and specifically with being a wife and a mom and a stepmom, is to realize that we don't really control anything. And the only thing we can control is how we react to it. And yes, we're all going to react badly sometimes, but recognizing that, being able to apologize for that, and then learning how to grow from that and say, okay, everything's going to be okay as long as I'm okay with everything. It's about acceptance. It's about surrender. It's about realizing that one way, your way, isn't the only way. And that was a tough road for me because I think we both came from kind of being single parents for a while, and then suddenly then having to live with someone who had a very different parenting style than you. That is a recipe for struggle and for stress. And, you know, surrender and growth are the only options if you want to stay together. And so it was not an easy, immediate thing by any stretch of the imagination, but I think slowly you start to learn how truly to compromise. I mean, no one gives you a handbook on how to be a mom, but you definitely don't get a handbook on how to be a stepmom. And same with being a stepdad. It really is something that people don't talk about. And it's probably one of the hardest roles I've ever taken on. And I'm still learning how to be a better one. It's not an easy situation, but I would say my heart grew 10 times the size it was. And you really have to open your heart, and you really have to open your mind, and your flexibility is imperative when it comes to dealing with blending a family.
I think we've gotten a lot better at kind of be able to step outside yourself and see how wound up you're getting about a specific issue, or feeling judged, or any of that kind of stuff. And so then once you do that, you can witness your own ego coming into every single situation. And so when you can detach a little bit and really start to see where your ego is driving you, which took us a long time to figure out, and then you would just see how we would just start ramping up these arguments where you were just totally trying to protect yourself. And once you stop that and say, okay, what actually can I do to help in this situation? It can happen the same thing with parenting, where your desire for control, and you want your kids to do exactly what you said, versus being able to step back and say, okay, what would be the right course of action? So I think people right now are feeling so much stress out there in their lives, and it's hard to do that because there's so much on the line. But it's crucial to have that balanced approach where your ego isn't taking you over.
Acceptance and compromise. And, there's a reason, I believe we had the statistic when we got married, more than 80% of all marriages, second marriages with stepchildren in the house fail.
Wow.
That's significant. Yeah. And we knew we were really going up against the odds trying to do this and pull this off. And like I said, it wasn't always this beautiful present wrapped in a bow. I mean, we went through some tough times, but it's only through struggle that you actually find success. And so if you're willing to go through it, you'll get to the other side of it. And it actually is a really beautiful thing because it was hard fought. And then it was, but we celebrate, we learn how to enjoy it and celebrate it and think, look how far we've come, look what we've done anyway. And we'd like to just let other people know. And I've never been someone who said, oh, it's just so magical and it's the best thing that ever happened to me. It's really hard.
And so you need a... No, sorry. I was just going to say, I appreciate that because you are both in the spotlight and you do share a lot. So I feel like that is so important that it's all out there. And with that said, would you ever do a reality show? Because I feel like your family's beautiful and you're always doing such cool things.
We actually were approached, gosh, when we first got married, and we were just like, absolutely not. But then there are times where we're like, wow, that would have been a good episode.
Right.
Well, there would have been a lot of good episodes.
There would have been some really good episodes.
We like keeping our privacy and keeping the kids' feet on the ground.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of cool with social media the way it is now. You can invite people in when you want to, but when you don't want to, you can also turn it off. And I appreciate the ability to turn it off. I don't think I could handle, I know I could not handle cameras around the clock. No.
It'd be a lot.
Yeah.
That's not us.
Never say never. I mean, maybe.
I would definitely say never.
Okay. You heard it here first. Yeah. And I have to say, as a fellow runner, I am always motivated by all of your running posts. And I saw on Instagram, Amy, that you listen to books when you're running, and I do the same thing. So do you have any good recommendations for Audible?
Sure. I just started a new one. So I don't know if I can recommend it yet because sometimes they flop, but A Killer's Wife was amazing. The guest list was so good. Did you listen to it? Because they had amazing accents from all over the UK. It was just, I felt like I was there in this like creepy island off the coast of Ireland. I loved that one. Right now, I have to look and see. I literally just downloaded it yesterday to go running and now I've forgotten it. And I was just listening to it. Where is it? I'm going to get it right now.
Do you sync up to your Kindle also, or do you keep them separate?
I just do it on Audible. And then, this is my other phone that it's on. What's it called? It's, I can't think of it right now.
I'm listening to Barack Obama's autobiography.
I don't know if that's a good running listen, but I'm sure that's a good book in general.
Just to hear him in his own words and he's, I don't know, he's self-deprecating. I'm a fan.
In the Woods. That's what I'm listening to right now by Tana French. But that's when I listen to, and my girlfriend and I, we listen to the same books at the same time. And then we almost have like a book club meeting after we run. So,
and do you run together?
Yeah, we run together. She's my running buddy. So we're running together actually in 45 minutes and we sync up which chapter we're on and then run at the same time and then talk about it afterwards. It's kind of fun. And we'll start ramping up the running because end of May, we start officially training for the Berlin Marathon. So, and Andrew's running it too. My dad's going to run it with us.
Oh, I love that. That's so exciting.
I like running with friends. It's motivating. It makes it a social strategy as well. Like you just make a date with someone instead of going for a boozy lunch, we go for, an inspiring run. And I actually prefer that to the other. Sometimes we run too fun. That's what I call it.
That's a good idea. I need to start doing that because I'm a very solo runner, but do you feel like you are pressured though to keep up with the other people?
You have to have the right people who you pace yourself with correctly. So my friend and I are very much on par. We have two other friends who join us who are slower. And so I kind of always say everybody run their best. No one feel they have to keep up or slow down for anyone, but we always end up, we have our meeting place. So we usually end up kind of grouping off a little bit if there's more, but my friend and I have been training from the get-go together. So we've improved together.
Okay.
And so she is slightly faster than me, but we're really close. This guy, you don't even see him. Boing! He's so fast. It's absurd. Yeah. He runs 7-minute miles. So I am not there, but I'm in the 8s. I'm happy with the 8s. He's in the 7s.
8s are good.
Both super impressive. I'm very slow. That's why I'm always by myself, because then I can't feel bad.
You know what I'll tell you? If you run with someone who motivates you, that is the best way to pick up some speed. I always say I learned from the best who told me your first mile should be your slowest. And I really believe that. And then you build those negative splits and you get faster. But if you can be with someone who pushes you just a little bit, it actually really works. I run faster when I run with my friend. I run faster when I'm with you. When I'm by myself, absolutely, I run slower.
Yeah, I mean, it's that same mentality of like being in a race. Like whenever I'm running an actual race, they're always, you feel that energy too off of other people, which is super motivating. Okay, well, we have to wait until September 28th for the book, but in the meantime, we will be following you both on Instagram and watching you on TV. Thank you guys so much for being here. It was so nice to meet you.
Thank you, Ashley. Nice to meet you too.
Yeah, it's great to be with you.